Adrian.
Yeah, bring your motherfuckers over here. I got a lot to say.
Welcome back. Today we dive into a one-off feature that previews a decade of sharp tongues, audacious claims, and infamous characters.
Do you recognize that you're interviewing a great one?
The love-hate qualities that have allowed some to elevate the sport, reaching new record-breaking highs, but have also, for others, dished out hard-hitting reality checks.
As I said, with a fighter like Golovkin, we know who he is. I believe Junior wrecks him.
If you enjoy our content, please consider giving us a thumbs up and hitting the notifications bell as we break down our top 10 cockiest fighters of the decade.
Beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him.
Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
Coach that. Don't ask me about none of my goddamn business about Matisse. You talk to me about Danny.
All right, we'll talk about
the champion of the world.
No, I know he's the champion of the world.
Let's talk about the champion.
First up, a throwback trash talker who continues to turn his son's fights into must-see TV.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Then you gotta see you're getting knocked out. You want a ponytail? Hey, ponytail! Look, this is the third.
Whilst Danny generally maintains a humble demeanor, Angel, with his volatility, tries to intimidate and get under the opponent's skin.
Do the math, Terrence Crawford, when you from Idaho. Do the math, fool.
Sometimes working in their favor, other times not so much. Fortunately, he excels as both puppet master and cornerman, which has transformed them into one of the sport's greatest father-son duos.
His trainer's not gonna die for him. I'm gonna die for Danny. So at the end of the night, he's fighting two spirits in the ring. He's fighting my spirit and Danny's spirit.
Yeah, life will point you in directions. Keep walking down the road, whichever way.
Thurman, a former opponent of Garcia's, was at one time one of boxing's most formidable finishers. Though rising through the ranks, making more and more noise.
I'm a young, strong champion, Floyd. Come get it. I'm undefeated like you, baby. Come take my O, baby. Come take my O.
He eventually suffered a 5-year dry streak.
It's Keith sometime Thurman, baby. Sometimes I still beat your ass.
And so, with his moniker losing its potency, but his brashness reaching new heights, it was a lose-lose situation against Pacquiao last summer, which ended in true trash talk gone wrong style.
I'm doing the Manny Pacquiao, what Manny Pacquiao did to Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, I know he likes to quote Bible verses, so I'll let you know he's getting crucified.
Why do you hate Vladimir Klitschko? It seems like you do.
Because he's clearly a dickhead. Hasn't got a f***ing clue what he's talking about. Just yabbering on about absolutely nothing.
So my decision was, render this idiot unconscious. And that's exactly what I did. And I'll do it again.
Where Thurman's undoing came through injury, British cruiserweight David Haye's demise was much more self-inflicted.
Joshua doesn't want any part of me, particularly after I knock out Belly on a Saturday night.
Losing focus in his move up to heavyweight, the Haymaker became more interested in gaining celebrity status than a heavyweight title.
Nothing humble. David Haye is about as humble as Madonna.
Also, in similar fashion to Thurman, Haye's last 2 fights saw more trash talk than the rest of his entire career, and it didn't bode well.
Go out there, let my hands go, he goes to sleep, I'm happy, all of you idiots here, I'm happy.
Hey, still number 1, and gonna be that way, baby. And all the rest of the thing, Jones is a fluke. Now they know.
Finally retiring in 2018, fans were pleased to see the American call time on an illustrious career. In his day, inch for inch and prime for prime, Roy was undoubtedly a top 10 all-time great, but oh boy, did he know it.
Yeah, that, he gonna give me 64, he ain't fighting me. I'm pound for pound the baddest man throwing down.
Fortunately, unlike some names on our list, Roy was able to back up his brashness and bold claims with insane speed and incredible skills.
You better come next Saturday, because I'm coming to get mine back. And I ain't care about them titles, I'm coming to get mine just cause I'm Roy and I still rule this. Understand? I run this around here, not nobody else.
Your trainer, Alton Merkerson, said, by God, go knock the man out. We got somewhere else to go. Where you got to go?
I got some party to go do with my friends in Miami. I got some new friends I'm in the South Beach. All fans of Roy Jones.
When the chips tell, my mama said, boy, that's the time to steal. was almost a moment at the 12th. You were almost applauding him.
I was. I had to stop beating him up and just say, you know what? This guy's a hell of a fighter.
Next, a different form of cockiness, this time hereditary.
What a lot of people don't consider is when you are living the Warriors code.
Eubank Jr. was knocking out opponents in devastating style, bringing the same swagger and attitude that transformed his father into a household name.
Listen, don't get arrogant.
We're not
going to get a second time. One hand. Let's not have the fight a second time, guys, please. Thank you very much.
Though with confidence that bordered delusion came unnecessary pressure.
I hear Floyd talking about other guys who are going to be kingpins. They're not going to beat him.
Here, this is the new money. This is the money you back. And he is. Watch what I say.
Whilst this paid off financially, the Brit fell short in the two biggest nights of his career, leaving him plenty still to prove.
It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the fight. I'll be back very soon.
The fans love nothing more than to see an overconfident fighter humbled. And if the Eubanks were guilty of using exaggeration to sell a fight, then the next man took it to a whole new level.
He didn't win the gold medal. It was over here in England, and they gave it to him. He was blessed a gold medal.
He gets tired, I get stronger. I walk this earth like a god and step right over.
Only thing left is to bring home a ring.
One of the decade's most iconic, bittersweet heavyweight moments, as Charles Martin was made to swallow his words against Anthony Joshua with a second-round demolition.
He's down again! And Joshua on the brink here strolls into the corner as if to say, job done.
It only takes 10 pounds of pressure to, knock a man out. And, he's an elite athlete. I'm pretty sure it might take 20, but I got 800.
IFL have played a huge part in British boxing's rise over the last decade, giving a voice to the country's hottest prospects.
Former Olympian Billy Joe Saunders. This man to my left, Anthony Joshua. The Whomaker, David Hay. How are you, David?
Although amongst all the characters, none gained notoriety as quickly and divisively as Prince Patel.
The reason why I'm getting the media attention is because people see the greatness. Just be real now. Beat down. You saw glimpses of greatness. You saw the great one do what he does. Lips, straight white teeth, and the jawline sculpted by Michelangelo himself.
Fighting 17 times in the last 2 years, his first loss came in July, throwing all of his audacious claims into jeopardy, seemingly to the delight of boxing fans around the world.
Kevin's a big guy. Kevin can't take me shots. No one can. No one. People want to see me.
Even if they dislike you, they want to see you.
No, yeah, I don't really care if they dislike or like. People want to see me.
Not let it cry anymore after they disfigure every time that you go.
When you talk about boxing controversy, Ricardo Mayorga is one of the first names that springs to mind.
I'm gonna make Cotto sign up for the Ricky Morton fan club after the fight. That's what he's gonna have to do.
And if WWE boss Vince McMahon created a boxing persona, we'd expect the Nicaraguan to be the end result.
It's an athlete. Come on, man.
A true love-hate character whose antics and pre-fight vitriol drew audiences that far surpassed his ability. Though his words often motivated his opponents to deliver punishing KOs at his own expense.
Big shots, and that
is it! You probably know the two remaining names. It's just what order you'd put them in. Adrian Broner's fall from grace as one of the sport's most promising talents is one of the decade's most unforgettable scenes.
Because I know I'm blessed. I got the skills to pay the bills, and I got enough will. My last name could be Smith.
Hype as the next TBE, with claims he may even surpass his predecessor's achievements.
Hey, Pops, brush my hair. I don't even know if I'm going to win. I'm going to put it in God's hands. Get the f*** out of here. I'm going to beat his mother.
Words that in due course came back to haunt him. Though love him or hate him, his slick tongue still draws huge paydays, and you can't knock his creativity.
I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl. I really don't know how to say it. If I say it in English, if I say it in Brownish, I'm really gonna kick your ass. You heard him. You never give me
You're a man of many things, but you're a master of nothing. He said I stole his training gear. Okay, we'll do something about it, Mayfair. That's what I gotta say.
2 years, 3 years, 4 years, mother 21 years.
As if there was any doubt.
Stop that, man.
Money May has had a case for being the sport's cockiest fighter ever since his debut back in '96.
I'm gonna step on him. I'm gonna crush him. Y'all can mark my word to this. I'm gonna crush him. He's a C+ fighter. I'm an A+ fighter. Come Saturday night next week, all the fans tune in because I'm gonna dominate.
Though as pound-for-pound king and the highest breadwinner the sport has ever seen, he certainly earned the right to be.
Easy work. I ain't gotta worry about it. I don't know who you beat. I don't know who you lost to. I don't know who you beat.
A man who mastered the bad guy role in boxing, becoming one of the most iconic figures of his generation, and the only name in the list to have never tasted defeat inside the squared circle.
As an honest person, I spoke my mind. Am I wrong for saying that I'm the best? Don't it also show?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either Thunderbirds or go, or we've come to the end of another Motivedia presentation.